aka Professional High Priestess. Some of you guys that are going to be seeing this video, you are new to my coding tutorials. I just want to let you guys know that I've been doing coding tutorials for the past 2 years now about a few different like systems that people can use to improve the forces of physics in their Ethernet cables, either optic or copper, to improve the spiral chemistry in their CPU, the metals in their network card, etc., so they can get more out of like the binary interface, and teaching people how to utilize machine coding. Some of you guys saw me run through x64, x86, and x87, aka ARM assembly. You guys saw me here. I do a lot about Mantisa, floating point, and how to basically code floating points down, and basically how to build like free form satellites, right? Based on like utilizing Mantisa and other systems that we have available to us. So some of you guys, this is just going to be a quick video, but I'm going to do a longer tutorial where I expose a lot that's going on here. Some of you guys know me because you've been watching my tutorials and you've been hearing about a Black woman that got harassed by a politician named Matt Haney, that she got harassed and tapped and stalked and naked photos put up her online and a bunch of nonsense with court for the past 5 or 6 years because I made a coding language, right? And because I brought down something about chemistry that completely invalidated click chemistry and completely exposed Royal Society, right? That they were getting false information and putting out false information about chemistry. But one of the things that you guys are going to learn about on my channel is that I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to make anything up, because usually a few days after, something will end up blowing up in the media, literally, and it will prove what I'm saying on my tutorials, right? So some of you guys are going to see another tutorial about what's about to happen with cybersecurity, what's been happening with cybersecurity, who's destabilizing the network, and who's been causing a bunch of tech, right? So I want to back a little bit again. Matt Haney, you guys keep on hear me mention this white politician that started stalking, harassing me, and he's all in the Black and brown community because, again, you know that there's certain white people that don't like that, think that they're Black because they play with sellouts, right? He's like one of them. So what ended up happening here was I took him to court because he hacked my phone, hacked my computer, started a bunch of nonsense playing with my name because he was uploading me to a virtual like sound technology, and he was uploading my devices to like hacking technology, which there's something currently going on in the social justice field that he was like remotely like next to, because he used to work with Van Jones, that's currently blowing up. And this is one of the reasons why you guys keep on seeing different nonprofits get completely defunded, because they were affiliated with him. So something that ended up getting started here was I just came across a specific document that's about to blow up, because a lot of people that are going to watch this video had no idea. You guys have been going back and forth with a Black woman that knows how to code, and she discovered something about floating points and using planets as satellites, because she's been teaching about this for the past like 4 or 5 years. And you've been hacking all of her computer, at least like 18 devices. You've been hacking all of her emails, at least like 6 devices on each of my emails, 6 different types of software on each of my emails. You've been blocking her emails. You played with all her IDEs. You played with all her GitHub accounts. It took her 4 years to get her code back, and you're affiliated with the serial killer that you're trying to hide, because it all started with her going against you and putting you in court, and you knew about this coding language and you tried to rip it from her, and it didn't work. So then what ended up happening was a huge war got started in the Black and brown community, because they try to, one, steal my work, and then they try to hide the fact that they try to steal it. Then they're still trying to hide the fact that they did the first 2 things. So some of you guys have heard about Drake and Kendrick Lamar beefing. That started because Drake is cool with the Kardashians and found out about my case against Matt Haney, because Matt Haney plays with those Kardashians, and it started a huge war. What they did, playing in my building in Atlanta, 3 people got murdered in front of my building. Atlanta got lit on fire so badly they've had 3 new superintendents in the past 2 to 3 years, because Matt Haney will not stop stalking and harassing and following me. And now something else has come up. Scott, landmark AI safety and innovation bill. Why are you passing an AI safety and innovation bill when we know that you're playing with TensorFlow, and we know that you're playing with XYZ files, and we know that you guys are playing with modular switches, And we know that you're playing with ASIC encoding, and we know that you're playing with secret permissions, and we know that you're playing with the electrical grid because you're playing with Gavin Newsom, and that's why all these fires went up, and that's why all these EV cars keep on blowing up, because of the pulsations in the grid are causing something called Heisenberg uncertainty principle, right? Go ahead and look that up if you're into physics, because I am. So why are you passing this bill? Isn't this the group of whites that just got exposed? The Jewish Legislative Caucus, most of them are German. Their families ran away to Argentina after Nuremberg trials. They have no idea that people know that. But there's a website that they don't know that I know about. I'm gonna pull this let me see if I can find this website. Hopefully they didn't take it down. It's like a website where they have like all their last names and things like that. I think they took it down. Because I was just like on it a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna pull this up again because I don't want to waste too much time on this. House of Names. House of Names. This is the website where you can go find all of like their last names and stuff like that. House of Names. And go find the different like groups that they were affiliated with that are now connected to Royal Society. Okay, so some of you guys don't know like what Royal Society is. Royal Society of Medicine, Royal Society of Psychology, Royal Society of Psychiatry, Royal Society of Chemistry. It's like different like groups that got together. They just call themselves like Royal Society. They're very popular in the UK. All of them stopped in her is this that everyone's gonna laugh at. Requires companies to get third-party safety audits. Yeah, but nothing is safe right now. We know who's doing all the hacking and tapping because they went into the Black and immigrant community and then they put technology on all of their servers and stole from all of their cash registers, all of their online businesses, millions of dollars. The same millions of dollars that are like randomly making it into like consulting deals. Like, oh, we're bringing you in at the state for a consulting deal, or making it into different like AI safety nonprofits. Allowing a state agency to change the compute threshold. Why would a state agency change the compute thresholds? Oh, just what like makes sense to you guys, because that's something that they can do under the table. And based on something called the Sunshine Ordinance, they don't have to tell you. And something with Robert's Rules of Orders, they don't have to tell the public. So they can constantly destabilize the energy grid anytime they want to. And something else is going to come out with electricity and that energy grid and money that's completely missing for the community that's going to explode. Giving companies more flexibility in how they meet their responsible development obligations. Why would you do that when they all hire white supremacists and they're all chasing after Daisy? When is that going to stop? Now, I want to show you who's a part of this bill. The majority of the world's top AI companies are based in California, so it's logical for the state to lead on policies balancing AI safety with innovation and competition. Nathan Calvin, Senior Policy Counsel at the Center for AI Safety Action Fund. What are you talking about? Isn't this the same AI that they use like to play with that whole camera in the store? And they're actually looking for like 4 or 5 immigrant families so they can tap their phone and steal their farm? Thank you. Because everyone knows that this whole retail theft is people inside of the company giving coupons or moving the logistics around. We already discovered that because you guys clearly see how I broke that down in like 2023, September 2023. And all of the different companies are watching my channel. So much so that I showed like, you guys saw me, I did a beauty tutorial and I was talking about like the products going missing. And I did a tutorial on a few products. CVS listed every single last one of those products in one of their weekly ads just to show people we're watching this. CVS stopped giving out coupons because of what they did, because they hacked the system and they were giving out 99% off coupons on entire purchase or single item. Okay, so yeah, it's us doing it, white people, and we're taking the products and we're reselling it. Okay. Right. So then you installed a bunch of cameras everywhere to stalk and harass people. Thank you. So now that's coming up because then it came out that they were using those cameras to stalk and harass who? Low-income mothers, homeless people, and to what? Snatch people's kids, which is going to come up with this. So now they need to go to a third-party independent organization that's not CompTIA certified because CompTIA is expired. Not CISSP certified because that's expired too, because they have to talk about XYZ files, TensorFlow, and what happened with space and secret permissions in Russia. Okay, yeah, this is complete garbage. We were just doing this because everyone's complaining about you. But do you want to know who this man Nathan Calvin is? Yeah, that's Matt Haney's brother. Yeah, that's the same Matt Haney that isn't that the one that was like playing back and forth, saying that they were doing prison advocacy and everyone got set up? Isn't that the same one that his sister's running back and forth with a bunch of cases and charges coming back up in Towerside and three other projects because of what she was doing playing games and this virtual reality technology coming out? Yeah, Jewish roots. What Jewish roots? Yeah, that's his brother. Yeah, that's him. That's the white man that's like stalking me back and forth and harassing me. And remember, I told you guys about that virtual reality technology that they were playing with, where they were talking about how they're getting messages from mother, because you guys saw that technology firsthand. I talked about it for several years, and then they made like a TV show about it on Netflix. It's like it's something that they just passed a law about. Why don't you pass a law about that, about virtual reality technology? Because they passed a law about it in Colorado. And his brother uploaded me to that technology to stalk and harass me for several years. You nigger, you black bitch, you ape, you're going to be raped. Watch what I do to you, etc., etc. Because he uploaded me to that. Because he uploaded me to that. And everyone's talking about it because it's blasting across everyone's community. That's the person that they want to go and give money to and hire as consultants to do this and this and this and that. Yeah, and that's the sister that we're talking about looking for dick and running back and forth out of the black community and causing wars, playing games, playing with text messages, playing with spoof apps like, oh, I'm gonna text her or text him using this person's number or that person's number and start a war. That's what they're doing. Okay. Remember I told you that they were cool with the Kardashians? Yeah, that's about to come up too. Because remember, they got sued for playing with this technology and a bunch of other things. Okay. This is very serious that they're playing like that in front of everybody. But again, one of the things that's going to come out here, because I don't even think that his brother knows about this. Like, I think this is going to be like his first time like hearing about this. What do you mean you've been stalking and harassing like a black woman for like 10 years total? And you were causing hella drama. They have you on video footage to the point where they completely dismantled. There's like an online archive of videos. And there's one of him like completely staring me down and being like very out of control. And they took all the videos off the archive. For like, the archive has been around for like 25 years just because of that one video that can unravel a bunch of shit. What are you doing? That's what everyone's asking. Why are you doing this? Isn't that a conflict of interest to be bringing your family in to try to get like deals and stuff like that and act as policy consultants and this and that? Aren't you under investigation for like getting a bunch of money and saying that you're buying baseball tickets and paying for spell work? Because that's still going. Weren't you playing with a bunch of like tarot readers and like witchcraft practitioners and everyone's talking about it because everyone got defunded? Because that's still going. Yeah, because the tarot readers contacted me. Didn't you hack Daisy's computer and like you're like looking for some like coding language that she went ahead and like drafted? What do you mean you drafted a coding language? Yeah, a coding language. Also something that you can use to edit chemicals too, and then something that you can use to edit bacteria in different cells. Oh, this is going to be great in biotech. Don't you owe me a bunch of money in court? Didn't you rig like 4 court cases? Didn't I file a restraining order on you? And because you had my phone tapped, you filed one 2 days later with a bunch of text messages that didn't come from me? Because I'm still trying to figure out why did you think I would be texting you like that? Okay. Oh. Yeah, and you guys remember this came out, right? How they were like supposedly buying sports tickets through a certain website, but they were laundering money so they can pay for rituals and pay for people's kids to get kidnapped and trafficked in this thing that they call cleanup, where they're talking about, oh, we have to do cleanup, which includes taking small black and brown children, molesting them, and thinking that they're getting magical gifts and powers because they're using that technology and saying that they're communicating and getting messages from space. It's like somebody that's like sitting somewhere in Russia or the UK, talking to them and getting them to do certain things so that they can move policies around and move money around. Didn't I go to jail for 2 weeks because I was talking about this? And then 4 police officers died the day that I went to jail in LA. Mind reading law. What are you talking about? Yeah, because your brother uploaded me to that to spy on me and to play games because I didn't want nothing to do with him and started a huge gang war and started a huge immigration policy war and started a huge war against children. Now, some of you guys have heard about Leeds, UK. Yeah, I heard about Leeds riots. Some of you guys have heard about Leeds riots because your family was involved in that. Oh, there's another thing too, where most of those Jewish legislative caucus, there's something that they're involved in called cyborgy or Klonkla, and they have sex in their family. So this is where you're going to see a bunch of funding go into rare disease research because they're having sex with their family, right? So Leeds riots, you guys saw this because they're playing with people's kids in the UK. And I had mentioned basically what happened here was somebody had gotten information about this because what they were doing was emergency 24-hour adoptions of little kids in the UK so they can adopt them out to pedophile homes so those kids can end up on child pornography videos on AI-based slices and shards of databases using SAN, SAN, and NAS, NAS, aka data extenders. Yeah, why didn't you talk about that? Or the metal companies? Or the companies that are making the chips. Okay, yeah. And now you see why everyone's doing side shows. Yeah, because I heard about those too. Yeah, the street racing and the mass shootings going on all across every single community because of what this man has started. Playing with a single black woman. Maybe you should stop. Okay, yeah, maybe I should because I didn't get fucking anything at all but exposed as a pedophile. Right. 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 Because there's a video that I put on my YouTube and I was like coding a few things. And then the next day, everyone saw what I coded come to life. And then we had a big data like breach, shut down consistently, constantly. I'll code something on the computer, I do it in front of you, and then the next day there's like an outage. But you don't have to believe me, you can just go on my timeline. Right. So this is what they've been trying to hide with the computer and AI, that a white man started stalking and harassing a black woman and it imploded the entire white community and they lost all their money. So where are they getting the money for all this now? They stole it from your Cash App, your Venmo, your PayPal, and that's what's coming out with the banks. So you guys are in like involved in like some like secret group of politicians that are playing with all these databases and systems that you get access to, and you're funneling kids out of the foster care secret system secretly or doing it right in their parents' face because they're people of color. And you're putting these kids in sex rituals and claiming that you're getting spiritual gifts and powers for doing cleanup, aka exterminating black and brown people. Yeah, but you guys know that the next day that I talked about all this that's going on with like baseball tickets, the CEO of Fandango, he committed suicide. Fandango, you guys know Fandango? They have like a few other websites on their servers too where they sell other tickets. Yeah, Fandango CEO, he committed suicide. He has a few other companies that he runs too for like healthcare and whatnot. Yeah, because they got caught playing games. So now, another thing is going on here. Okay, so you built this coding language. It obviously works. They're hacking your computer. They can't get it. Ask your brother why they can't get access to that coding language and let him explain that. I have no idea who that is. Yeah, I didn't want to really tell you about this, but because you know who your brother is. He's a liar. He's this. He's that. Just help me with my career. After doing this, and this, and that. Oh, okay. So I don't want to really like talk about it. I don't really care. But your mom is involved in this too because she like orchestrated it. She used to be on my like Facebook page playing games, causing a bunch of drama, like playing with her son because you know they have a weird ass relationship. I don't know why she's like bothered with me though. But I mean, the whole hood is watching her son, or the whole hood is watching her brother. Right. Just go down my timeline. Okay, but how? Why is it that every time she mentions somebody's name, they get murdered the next day? Like, what is this going on? She mentioned something with Yo Gotti getting involved with white people, and then the next day they murder his business partner. She mentioned something about another rapper in Atlanta and his baby mama. She mentioned them a few times, and the next day his business partner gets killed. What's that about? She mentioned something about them playing games with a certain computer program, and the next day, a bunch of white men in tech died. Something else, I like to have fun. I like to have fun, right? When I'm like not like trying to like get your brother to stop communicating with me all day through virtual reality. Like I was just playing. Like it wasn't that serious. I was just playing. Like, well, it wasn't that bad. I was just like playing, right? Because you were just playing, uploading me to virtual reality, screaming that I'm a black bitch and I'm a nigger and I'm an ape, et cetera, for the past 4 or 5 years. So much so that several people have emailed me about this and they're now passing laws about this, trying to prepare for what this is going to look like in front of the public because of a certain document that you're going to get. Let's look at who passed away. I do videos like it's called Rest in Peace Report, where we just look at all the different white men that passed away because they were playing with people's children sexually, inverting the foster care system, playing at everyone's job, playing on everyone's computer. Oh, another thing that your brother did because he's so cool and sick and lit, right? Yeah, and he's so hip and he's like tuned into the community. He's an ally, right? They hacked everyone's computer. He didn't tell you this. Yeah, all the rappers like threatened him. Yeah, and Drake is like selling everyone out, and that's how something else is about to come up about like that police like advocacy and that prison advocacy nonsense. It was like this big ass plot and plan to find out if people knew what they were doing in the criminal justice system as public defenders, judges, DAs, etc. They hacked all the rappers their computer. Drake helped. 100 gigs for your head top. He just dropped 100 gigs of everyone else's work so that people can go in a generator and say, yeah, but this belongs to Drake. It's his beats. Because Drake got involved with them and then he had to. So for the past like 3 or 4 years, they've been hacking all of like the black and brown artists and then selling their music to like people like Little Mabu, whites, to make it seem like, oh, that's their music, and started a huge war. Yeah, that's what they're hiding with that AI. So now let's go into this. Just be careful what you like start. You wanted to play witchcraft. You thought that it was like the wizarding world for white men to play with children of color sexually and to start things. Something about Ojai. So another thing that I do on my channel is I show like the people that have passed away because they were playing with the computer. So many people have died. Like I'm sure they didn't tell you about any of this, and I know for a fact that they were going to be like, "That's nothing. Just ignore it and just don't tell my mom about this." Okay, because something's like really, really like brewing, like big bad brewing because of what they started. By the way, there were that's okay. There were, you guys heard of the three wise men? Something very biblical happened because they were like doing way too much. And literally, three wise men popped up on the internet and they started talking about very like catastrophic things that were going on. And I was like, how's this like going on? These three men from India. And they made YouTube channels showing how scores, dozens upon hundreds of white men were dying every single day because of what they were doing, playing with magic and playing with people's kids, playing with the computer and causing wars. So now this is an extension of that. This man has passed away. What did he do for 40 years? Work at IBM. What? Yeah, they're all dying because they're playing on the computer and they're starting a bunch of shit. This woman, Sharon Harvey Davis, she died. Why? Okay, well, I won't say anything when they complain. And we have black staffers, but like, we'll just keep it quiet. Amarin. Amarin is the equivalent of PG&E. They are an energy provider. The electricity company. And you can look up people's addresses in the computer. Dun, 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 dun. You guys have been hearing what I'm talking now. Are you paying attention to what is going on here? This lady has died. You guys heard what I was talking about just a few days ago if you go on my timeline. Okay, just be careful with what you're doing, okay? So just make sure you don't play with me, okay? Okay, this man, Olaf Strand, an American computer software company. Cloud management. Cloud. Oh, the cloud. Slices and shards of data. The cloud. Yeah, cloud technology and finding like scores and scores and scores of child pornography in different like OTD files and a bunch of other like different like off files because of my coding tutorials. And because I'm here teaching like federal agents, mainly the black and brown ones that your brother uploaded to virtual reality to stalk and harass them. Like, oh, which one is she dating? Why is that your business? For the past 4 years, there's not been a day that I've not heard your brother's voice in virtual reality because he's mentally ill. For the past 4 years, going on 5 years, the entire hood, every single hood in every single city and state in America has been sitting here watching this. Thank you. Right. Because everyone has been sitting here watching this and listening to this because the chemical that they blasted in the sky, put in the water supply, and what they specifically put on specific like channels for the ISP providers, right? Like you have your internet service provider and they have like ports and routers and like step up and step down transformers and like modules and things like that and switch ports and all that type of good stuff and Ethernet ports going to specific communities to hack everyone's computer, but also to put a specific type of like tensor space on the internet to play with that virtual reality technology. So that's why Drake and Kendrick Lamar are beefing, because you got this technology, you were playing with my brother, and they started beefing like that. And that's why he mentioned Oakland, because of what happened to Daisy. So that's why they have an Ebony alert, an Amber alert system specific for black people, because a bunch of people went missing because you were sitting there having black and brown children kidnapped, raped, and molested because you thought you were going to get magical gifts, but you were paying certain ritualists on Etsy and places like that to play with Daisy. And it's in a court docket that's online, and you rigged that case. And then when she came out with her work, you try to play with her with that because you look stupid playing like that because you know who your brother is. And now you see what's going on and why there's so much chaos in the hood. And why can't we get the black and brown community to come to these meetings? Because they're here watching my channel, watching what your brother's doing. And you see my channel, oh, 100 views, 200 views? Nah, thousands, because they edit my channel. And guess who just died? Vicky Waksiki. Yeah, but before that, her son died because they were playing games on my page. Thank you. So I just wanted to show you guys what the fuck was going on here, because you guys already know the feds are on my channel. You guys have clearly seen it. Like, she mentioned somebody and then the next day they get raided or arrested. Okay, yeah, we're not really doing much. Oh. Okay, yeah, now they know like what we're doing. Oh. Okay, yeah, I thought I was like better than like black and brown people because I was like communicating. Oh. I didn't know that you knew what we were doing. I've been knowing what you've been doing the whole entire time because I went to California High. It's like a suburb in San Ramon. School in San Ramon. Like, I just went there for my last year of high school. And I know women that were like directly in this, they disappeared or they ran away. A bunch of shit got started because they have sex in their family. Right. So I just wanted to let you guys know, Daisy's my grandma's name. That's really sweet. I just want to let you guys know like what was going on here. So like, you know, like why the computer's shutting down and what's been going on and etc. It's like wars because every single day they're trying to bring out a new tapping or hacking. And every single day I'm sitting here like breaking it. And every single day they're hacking somebody else and causing some type of unnecessary, out of control, delusional, egregious hood war. What do you mean you're tapping all the blacks and you're looking for like coca and you're looking for weight because you're using fentanyl and you're tired of fentanyl? So what do you mean? It's nothing. Don't worry about it, mom. Yeah, because that's what they're doing. So that's, yeah. And another thing with AI, it's everyone's work. It's called parsing. It's like some tool that they use called parsing, and the speed of parsing and the ability to bypass certain MAC frames and bypass AXI or certain security protocols depends on like speed, depends on network access, and depends on if you are actually playing inside the ISP provider or playing on somebody's computer when they connect on Wi-Fi for like black and brown tech events, which is how they got everyone's work to build AI. So it's not like a generator. No, it's everyone's work. Yeah, the computer's not that smart. So now we come into another realm of chaos. Who is this lady? And what's going on with her coding language? Oh, ask Nate's brother and ask him what happened to $14,000 from my bank account. And ask him what happened in my apartment in Atlanta because people are still beefing over that. And ask him what happened when I almost got a job working at the DA's office in Atlanta, what they did on my email. And ask him why he has a certain type of app where he's checking my emails for me. And like, you don't need to know about this. Who's this guy? Who's texting your phone? Because your brother's fucking delusional. And I'm going to tell you right now, your brother's going to end up getting himself killed with what they've planned in the community for him. And you're talking about threats? Do you want to know that these people have gotten access because one of the federal agents sent out like autopsy photos of these kids and it started a war? I also want to bring up General Hospital, like the soap opera. Go ahead and Google General Hospital, All My Children, actors that have died. They keep dying back to back to back because they were playing with this technology and were kidnapping people. Oh, another thing your brother's involved in. Clinical trial testing on the black and brown community. What are you talking about? So that's what's going on in Baja California? I wonder where the articles are. Because I kept on bringing this up about missing persons, like missing persons. Like there was like an article that I had, Baja California and a bunch of other places where there was a bunch of people going missing. But I do have this one, 1,000 kids going missing in Cleveland. Google, they do take them down. That's why, oh, I did a video the other day about a bunch of like football players that have died because they're all dying in car accidents, right? Because again, magic from space. Um, so there was a few people that were like missing and I have them on my phone, like screenshots, but they were completely missing from online. But something that had gotten started here, and be careful with Snopes, because that's run by white people too, that play a bunch of games. Why are all these kids going missing? Because they're doing something called cleanup, where a bunch of people and a bunch of children are going missing because they think that they're supposed to be molesting them or sacrificing them for like spiritual gifts and powers. Oh yeah, there's something where there's a map where he sees like where I visited for the day. Oh, just making sure. Because your brother's mentally ill and everyone knows what the fuck they're doing because they're tapped by the feds. So now you know what's been going on. So there's that too. People going missing for clinical trial testing. Now I see a bunch of stuff about like Zoloft for kids and this medication for kids and this and this and that. And I don't want to talk about like what happened with like the whole meat recall because that has something to do with your brother and them two playing with human meat with like their Chinese connects. But the Chinese, they're done for. But, oh, I didn't even tell you your brother started a huge war with like the Chinese and like the Spanish, like the real hood ones. Not like the hood ones that been here, but the new ones that came here and they're still hood, right? Because I got into like some weird like little fender bender with one of them and he sent me a picture of his naturalization card, his ID, and then his lawyer's information and he had a Daily lawyer. Yeah, and your brother had my fucking phone tapped. So you're hearing about a bunch of stuff going on with like the Chinese and the Spanish like getting caught up in a bunch of drama. That was your brother that did that because they were looking for coke and they could only find fentanyl. And that's why I'm talking about like death threats because they know, because one of them has heard about this and said, "Isn't that the black? I know that black woman though. I know her, and I know how this is happening." Yeah, because remember they uploaded thousands of people to virtual reality, so we're like communicating. the real kind. And something else really, really weird about black people in our DNA came out. But I'm not going to talk to you about that because I mean, like, it's like super exclusive, right? The group that they're in. And that started a big war too because like a bunch of hood people saw that and said, like, oh, I'm done eating meat. I'm done eating this and this and that. I'm done like doing all these things. And like the hood got very like enlightened. So enlightened, they know what you're doing. So enlightened, there's like 4 different IC3 reports that are gonna rock your entire family, especially your sister, playing in Double Rock, Towerside, Oakdale, and playing in Kirkwood or K Rock. Okay, yeah, I was a public defender and I started a bunch of shit because I was jealous of these like black women coming to the court cases. Like, okay, yeah, I'm not black, and maybe I shouldn't have started that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we said at McMill and everyone knows what we're doing. Okay, I don't want to really talk about that. They're like goofy, like and delusional. No one thinks that they're doing anything good for the justice system. They're all ops. Everyone got defunded. All the people that do that like hardcore work on the ground, I've talked to all of them. It's starting a lot of shit. Yeah, they're trying to hide it. I just want to let you know. Anyways, you guys, I have a coding tutorial coming for you guys in the next few days. Somebody, one of you guys are going to like go look through my page and try to make it seem like this never happened, and that's not true. And don't look at that. And no, that's not happening. I'm looking at her videos though. That's not true. What are you talking about? You brought this USB and you plugged it into my computer. That's not what? Oh, come on. Why would I do that? How did you get all that data for all these different children and their families from the immigration center? And now half of these kids are in foster care. What? What do you mean? UK? Because that's what they're doing. And it started a big ass riot. Look up Leeds riots. Okay. Less than 24 hours after you said something. Yeah, my brother's doing something. Yeah, he is. Your brother's very fucking stupid. And I'm telling you, this is just the beginning of me dealing with him and dismantling him bit by bite by bit. Literally. So, anyways, well, anyhow, well, anyway, I just want to tell you guys know. Oh, you want to know something that's like also like super like funny, right? So you guys know about like hexadecimal and like hashing and things like that. Look at this. Just to like end the night. Tree 13. Oh, ask your brother what that is. Like, oh yeah, we were switching people's kids at birth in Mexico and like trying to steal a bunch of black farms and like that doesn't really matter and like because he has such a hard job. Like your job is stressing you out. No, I'm stressing him because he can't play with me and he likes playing with people. Because he swears that I was on a plantation in the 1850s and he was there and you already know your past life. No, I don't. I'm so sorry. Why are you speaking to me? And why are you on my computer? Those are the only questions that I want answered. For Christmas, I still celebrate that, but I'm agnostic.